Zombies. Fear. Suspense. Action. Fashion. Wait. Fashion? What's up, everybody? Grab a seat, get cozy, and get your dominant hand ready. You know what I'm talking about. Today we're going to be talking about an early access title, The Killing Antidote. The Killing Antidote is a third-person survival horror and action shooter that sees the main character, Jodie, a journalist, investigating a viral outbreak originating from a company called X-Gene. Trying to find evidence to incriminate the corporation, she encounters zombies and grotesque mutations, while at the same time solving puzzles and navigating a ruined building and research lab. Along the way, she can discover a random assortment of clothes to change into at various safe rooms. I mean, who doesn't want to look their best when trying to save the world, am I right? The outfits can range from business casual to lazy wear to just downright ridiculous.
Let's put on some damn clothes. Perfect. Exactly what I was thinking.
Or you could just run around in your underwear, cause why not? Besides, all of that blood and gore just washes right off.
Oh, again. Okay, I guess we're just taking a shower. It's fine.
I mean, who doesn't have time to take a hot shower in a zombie-filled hellscape? The game is still in development and currently has 2 levels to explore. The main office building for X-Gene and a hidden lab below it. The game plays like a flimsy clone of the Resident Evil remakes. However, instead of true survival horror elements like limited ammo and enemies that you have to choose between fighting or avoiding, The Killing Antidote is much more of an action shooter. Lots of ammo, lots of enemies, lots of shooting. On the surface, you would assume a GOONER version of Resident Evil would just be a bland cash grab trying to wave tits and ass in your face. And it does, but surprisingly enough, the game is relatively solid. Large maps, lots to explore, a good variety of enemies to keep things fresh, and a gameplay loop that does its job to keep the player moving. The story is average at best, not standing out but not so bland it hurts, and from start to finish there's about 6 to 10 hours of content, assuming you take the time to actually explore. The puzzles usually consist of locating combinations to enter onto keypads, which they surprisingly manage to keep fresh from puzzle to puzzle. Some of them are as obvious as just finding a number on the wall, but others were actually somewhat complex.
5, 7, and 8. And no other number. But the next number... 3? 5, 7, 8, 3. Oh shit! It's probably in the order that they would have moved. So this is probably his first move, that was second move, third, and then X would go there. Okay. Alright.
Requiring you to think about how to solve them, which was nice. There are some stealth sequences and bosses to mix things up periodically as well.
Oh fuck.
As much as I'd simply love to glaze this game for obvious reasons, it sadly does have its backsides. I mean downsides. The game is ultimately unfinished and does have some bugs. Thankfully, most of them just consisted of clipping problems and enemies or corpses phasing through walls. Other problems stem from the enemy varieties themselves. When first introduced to certain zombies, it feels like a labor of Heracles to understand what their patterns are and how to stop them. But it doesn't really take much time to abuse the game's AI and make them pretty much negligible. Windows or small barriers can make some of the harder monsters completely obsolete, as they just don't know how to get through them. On the other side of the fence, when some enemies do manage to get close and begin smacking Jodie's tits around like a speed bag, there's very little the player can do other than just dodge and pray that there's a gap between the beatings. Healing is also slow and super clunky, and most of the zombie mutations give little to no time to actually restore your health.
Move, bitch! Oh my god!
It's worth mentioning a funny detail here that when the player takes damage, Jodie's clothes slowly tear and shred, which is a good addition to the GOONER aspect of the game. Unfortunately, the game is also only voiced in Chinese, which didn't bother me, but I could see it bothering some others.
你没事吧 Jason 快回答我 Jason
I cannot take this seriously at all.
举些上路油漆
Oh
就可以
my
打开这扇门
goodness.
All in all, the game actually looks promising, and if you're looking for a game to scratch an itch, the Killing Antidote might actually be for you. A little polish could go a long way, and the devs have steadily released updates. I know I'll be returning when the next edition to the story comes out, but until then, stay fashionable, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. If you made it to the end of this video, then I just want to give a quick shout out to my sponsor, Dubby. Dubby is a company providing jitterless energy drinks in a variety of great tasting flavors, my personal favorite being the Crunchyroll Collab, Honeydew, and White Grape. I usually drink one before work to help keep my feet moving when I'd rather hurl myself in front of a bus. Dubby also has a wide assortment of shaker bottles and often does collabs with different animes if that's your thing. Maybe one day you might see our hero Jodie on a Dubby shaker. When using my promo code JGirlTheLoser, you can save 10% off your entire order. Anyway, thanks again for watching and have a great rest of your day.